Hey all, Dan here, Periodic Audio. I just wanted to break out of the normal videos we've been doing recently about educational things and, tools and things like that. We'll get back into those in a minute. But first I wanted to show you, just kind of remind you why we do this and why we know so much about it and what are the results of it. I just grabbed a carbon transducer, a carbon IEM at random, just one of them, and I just threw it on the system. I wanted to show you what's the result of everything we do, how this thing performs. So through the magic of camera switching, okay, so what we have here is our cry sound, as you've seen me use before. This is a great little cry sound unit, right? And this is it here. And you see I just got my carbon plugged in. The right's covered. I'm not using that right now. I'm just doing one, okay? So what I wanted to show you is, I'll go ahead and just run this real quick, and we're going to walk through everything you're going to see here. And you're going to understand why carbons just simply rock, okay? So that ran. So I'm going to start over here. This is frequency response, okay? This is what's happening here. So you can see this is calibrated 20 micropascals of pressure in my IE 711 coupler, IEC 711 coupler compliant. So basically simulating, this is what would simulate inside your ear. So I want you to notice the scale here. That's 130 dB SPL. That's 70 dB SPL. We're generating massive volume of output. In fact, we're above 120 dB SPL from about 80 hertz and down, and things like that. I mean, nowhere are we below 100 are we below 105 dB SPL. That's the line. Basically, until you're way in the high frequencies. Incredibly high SPL levels. And in fact, it confirms it. You see the frequency response to the left is 107.8 dB at 1 kilohertz. Now, ignore the right because I don't have anything plugged in. Okay, and some other things going on too. I wanted to show you, though, what this results in. See this? People are like, what's that? This is THD. This is a THD graph, okay? So you see it says THD left, upper limit. So it's percent. I want you to look at that. You see that? 0, 1, okay? This thing is tiny. In fact, I can come on in here, and I can, in real time, I'll have to set that up elsewhere. But anyway, you can see we're below 0.5% distortion. 0.5% distortion at 124 dB SPL. So there's no distortion in this thing at all. There's a little tiny blip there. That's just the cavity resonance of the transducer, of the measurement mic, all that kind of stuff like that. So what you're seeing here is insanely low distortion at incredibly high outputs. Okay? So what we get because of the way we design and build things ourselves is just the absolute clarity that you just saw. I mean, we're measuring less than 0.5% distortion at incredibly high SPL levels. So if you actually turned it down to like normal listening levels, there is no distortion. Our transducers, our IEMs are absolutely pure. That's the idea what happens. That's what we want out of the thing. That's why we do what we do. We make the cleanest, absolute most accurate transducers out there you can have. Everybody else talks about it, things like that, but they never show you those kind of curves. They never sit down and say, oh, look, hey, yeah, we're running below 0.5% at these kind of volumes without an issue. Nobody shows that. Why? Because they can't do it. Because they don't design everything themselves from ground up, even down to making their own plastics. So I just want to give you a quick shot of what we're doing. Remind folks, this is why we do what we do. We make ultimately high resolution IEMs in your monitors, earbuds. We make phenomenal electronics. They're super portable, sound great, and highly affordable. That's what we do at Periodic Audio. So if you got any questions, feel free to get it. Oh, and by the way, remember to use code Happy Ears. You get $100 off a pair of carbons that measure like that. So instead of like $300 or about $200, you get 2 IEMs like that. They're just absolutely neutral, absolutely revealing. You're going to hear everything that comes through. The IEM's not going to add anything to it. You saw the THD curve yourself. There you go. Dan Wiggins, Periodic Audio. Check us out. Have a good one.